Men, and I use the term ever so loosely. Welcome back to IronHeadCycle's world headquarters for the 100th video I'm making today. Kind of in commemoration of that, this is a crankcase I worked on quite a long time ago, and when I did the videos on it, and there's 3 of them, links will be below in the description. Anyway, when I made this crankcase, I said I was going to give it away. The time has come. I am within shouting distance of 500 subscribers. When I get to 500 subscribers, I'm going to give this thing away. I want to give it to somebody who is in or was in the military, whether you're a reservist, active duty, a veteran, National Guard, or whatever. I want to give this to somebody who is in our military. If you're interested in it, send me an email. If I get several people who are interested in this thing, I'll just put all the names in a hat and draw a name. If you're not in the military and you're interested in it, send your name in anyway. If I get no military or ex-military personnel who want it, I'll give it away to anybody. So just because you weren't in the military doesn't mean you don't have a chance in it. So anyway, if you're interested, send me your name. I'll put you in a drawing. When I hit 500, we'll pick a name and we'll give it away. Just to FYI, this is 86 first year Evo crankcase. This whole chunk here was broken completely out. It's been welded back in. I got a very good weld on there, excellent penetration. I've got no doubt that this thing is structurally sound. So give away 100 videos. Give it away when I hit 500 subscribers. I'm dangerously close. Help make that happen if you would, please. The second part of the 100th video commemoration coffee cups. No, I'm not giving these away. These are for sale. 20 bucks, shipping included. If you want to see me keep making videos, if you want to see future giveaways, of which I've got several things, including a set of really nice cams that I plan on giving away in the future here, buy a coffee cup from me, will you? 20 bucks, IronHeadCycle coffee cup, or buy a sticker. I'll sell you 2 for 5 bucks. The links are on my website. They will be down below in the description. www.ironheadcycle.com. Help support the channel. These videos are really kind of a pain in the butt to produce, especially when I'm building engines for a guy. Very time consuming. You wouldn't believe how much time these things take. Anyway, buy a sticker. Now, on to the rest of the video. Okay, this is the case that I took apart a couple of days ago. This whole thing was lined pretty much all the way around with a fairly thick layer of epoxy. Little bits of it left in places, like right here. Look like JB Weld probably. All of these screw holes are broken out. There are 1, 2, 3 that were still good and intact. I run a tap down through them to clean them all out, and when I ran the tap down into this one and then backed it out, the insert came out with the tap. I saved it, and I'm probably going to put it back in, so that one's going to be okay. But I'm going to have to build these all the way back up again. I'm going to have to weld down to the bottom of the hole because the holes are so oversized. Fill it all back in, build it all back up, and then, you know, drill and tap down through all of these to put threads back in again. This was cracked. This insert was good, except it was cracked up on the outside over here. cracked over here. Ground this all out to get to the bottom of the crack. This is kind of an interesting repair. How dicked up does the hole have to get? These are 1/2 13 is what the thread size is when you start out. That's got to be an inch. How dicked up do you get the hole so that you have to put a 1-inch insert in there? This looks pretty solid. There's no cracks around it. I think I'm just going to leave it. You could see the crankcase is repaired all in through here. Somebody welded this all back up. I'm not sure what the nature of the damage was, but this is all welded in here. They machined it all flat, it looks like. They got good penetration. I don't see any voids. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm not going to mess with it. What else? Found a crack over here. That's pretty common. Several Healy coils are going to, well, I'm going to put Healy coils in all these things when I restore them. Healy coil goes over here. I think a Healy coil goes over here. There's going to need to be one in here. May as well put one in here as long as I got it apart. But critical areas, you know, it's not cracked in here like a lot of them get to be. I see a lot of them are cracked on the sprocket shaft boss. This one isn't. Basically, structurally, it's a pretty sound crankcase. Anyway, going to throw it in the oven, heat it up, do some welding. Probably not going to show you that. It's kind of tedious, kind of hard to video. It's going to take a lot of welding because, you know, these areas have to be filled completely back in and completely built up, and then, you know, drilled and tapped again. So going to be a lot of work. All right. Here's the crankcase after welding. A lot of welding. A lot of welding. Got it all welded. Got the big crack, the part split off welded. All done. Got this welded. Everything's welded up. Anyway, I could do this all with the file, but I think I'm going to walk it out to the new milling machine and skim it all off. I think that'll be the easiest thing to do. Then I'm going to have to figure out how to locate and drill all the holes. Anyway, that's next. Took it over to the new milling machine, milled these down just about flush, maybe a few thousandths over, then put it on my surface plate with a piece of sandpaper, double-sided tape stuck to the surface plate, and smoothed it all off. Little tiny bit low over here, a little tiny bit low in here, but that's what gasket sealer and gaskets are for. I mean, I could, you know, put some more weld on here and put some more weld on here and redo it, but you know, at some point, cost becomes a factor on that. I've got one leftover insert that came, I think, out of this hole, but I'm going to put it over here. We're going to screw a primary cover on here, like yay, go down through here and drill all the holes. I'm going to drill them all 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to go back and drill them oversized for Healy coils. I'm going to put Healy coils in all these welded areas. I'm using, in this case, 4043 rod, and it tends to be a little soft. So I want to put Healy coils in where all the weld is. Might put a little more weld around here. Probably should. Okay, this is the mating crankcase to the one that I've been welding all the primary up on. Of course, both drain plug holes are stripped out on this thing, and this is by far the best way I have found to fix them. It's a pain in the balls setting them up in a milling machine, but I use copper crush washers, so the milled surface has to be flat for the washer to seal. It has to be perpendicular to the hole that's going to be drilled in for the threads of the plug. So the only way I found to do it effectively is set it up in a mill it flat, drill and tap your hole. That way everything is perpendicular and square. The cases, I use this surface right here to level them up parallel to the level of the mill table. Got a machinist jack holding it all square. This is up, it's in there, and it's rigid. So let's mill this off. All right, let's go down here and get the tranny plug. I just eyeball where I'm going to put the hole in there, not really critical. I try to move it a little farther away from the edge because a lot of them crack between the hole and the edge of the case. So I move them inboard a little bit. I'm not using the power tap feature yet because I have not experimented with it, and I don't want to try it for the first time on somebody's crankcase. So I'll just tap this one the old-fashioned way by hand. And that's how you make sure your sealing surface, your tapped hole are all in alignment and will seal nicely. And I'm supposing some of you may ask, is this really necessary? Well, it's only necessary if you don't want your shit to leak. I mean, if you've got a real steady hand and a real good eyeball, go for it. This case is done. There was nothing else wrong with this one. There might be one hole on here I gotta put a heating coil in, but this case is done. Here's the real reason for today's video. I've been working on this crankcase. It's got a boatload of welding on it. I just wanted to show you the finished product. All these broken out bolt holes have all been welded in, substantially welded in. They all had to be filled, built up. There were many passes involved. A lot of buildup in here to restore the integrity of these screw holes. Had to weld this up. This was broken out. Well, this was cracked all the way across. This was actually the easiest weld to make on this thing. These areas in here, between this bearing boss, extremely difficult to get into. Much more difficult than you would think. Crack on the outside over here, all welded up. But anyway, this thing is good to go. And you might recall in one of the earlier videos, I think I said I had a low spot. I ended up going back into the low spot, welding it up, putting it on the milling machine again, flattening it all off. I take these things when I'm done. You know, I milled it, all the high spots down to within a couple of thou of the surface. And I have a granite surface plate. I double side tape, stick sandpaper to it, you know, then turn it over and do one of these numbers on it till it's all smooth and flat. I did it on the mating side over here too, just to kind of double check this thing. Here's a previous repair. This was patched long before I came along. This all has been filled in and welded. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty solid. I'm leaving it alone. I had to weld this in. This was broken out. But anyway, done and ready to go. Let's take a look at the other half. Okay, here's the other half. Not nearly in as bad a shape as the left side. All I had to weld on this one were the two drain holes were broken out. This one had some cracks radiating from it. When I drill these holes, I move them away from the edge because they get close to the edge and they crack between the hole and the edge. So I tend to move them as far away from the edge as I possibly can. This, I don't remember whether I welded this or whether it was previously welded, but there was another crack coming out over here. Anyway, much better shape than the other side. This is ready to go too. You could see, here's another one of these inserts that was put in. Those were probably a lot of work. But anyway, this one ready to go. We'll be putting it together in the upcoming videos. There were kind of a couple of interesting things I ran into with the connecting rods, but you'll see those in the next edition coming up soon. Anyway, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Remember, get yourself a coffee cup and a sticker. Check into my website, www.ironheadcycle.com. I am out of here. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate you guys. I get a fair amount of comments, and some of you guys really put some interesting stuff up there. Anyway, thank y'all. We'll talk to you later. Bye.